So marriage is not it's not like oh, she got married, she's leaving the house. Not necessarily. Sometimes they stay with husbands and children. Okay, so that was the top 5 of Colombian values. What I want you to do now, I think which of these values are also important in your countries, okay? Or if any of these other values are important in your country. And I'm going to give you only 1 minute to think about that and give me an answer. Give me your own description of the values, okay? Okay? All right? You have it? You already have it here? Good? Good. Okay. Any volunteer? Okay. Awesome. Awesome. What is your country? Guatemala. What is very important value in Guatemala?
Well, I think that is the family.
Family.
Because it's like Colombia. If you have some party or you have to go to some place, and you always go with your family and you
Yeah.
can live it.
Perfect. So family is also very important value. Any else? What is your country? Guatemala. Is the same? You agree with Jose? You agree with Jose Alejandro? His family is the most important. What could be another important value in Guatemala? Peace, like rich peace. Okay. Like the end of the conflict. Okay. I agree. I think that Colombia also. It's that. Antonio, you're from? Mexico. What is important in Mexico? Family too. Like everything about family, blood. You're my blood. You're my brother and my sister. And, okay. Is it the same reasons or other reasons?
They're the same.
Okay. Ileana, where is your family from? Or where are you from? Salvador. Family too. So you see, we are not so different. Family is important. How about you, Josue?
Family.
Family too. That would be top 1. And Alondra, what do you think? Family and be respectful. Like respect. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Okay, now we are gonna compare our values with American values. And I want you to use everything that you have lived here since you got to live here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to use everything. Like what all do you remember? Like what is important for American people? And it's not so much very important for us, maybe. Or maybe it is important, equally important. So we're gonna make comparisons. So what is the next activity? Make comparison between our values and American values. We're gonna watch a video. And I want you to use this piece of paper. You're gonna write in the first circle, you're gonna write United States of America. And the second circle is gonna be your country. Okay, so we're gonna use this compare and contrast graph. Kind of mine now. Yes. Pencils? You need more pencils? I think I have pencils. I got. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so we're gonna watch a video, and then you're gonna take notes of what is important for American people. Okay?
What's your favorite for
One for American people, one for your country, and in between, what is common. So let's go ahead.
We put
Where?
America and
The right? In your country. El Salvador in that case.
Welcome. To today's session on cultural adjustment. Welcome to today's session on cultural adjustment. This session will provide you with the information you need to better understand U.S. culture so that you can successfully make the adjustment from your home country life to Washington, D.C. When we talk about culture, it is impossible. Impossible to pinpoint just one aspect. For example, the surface aspects of culture are those things that are obvious: food, sports, music, and fashion. However, below the surface, there are less obvious cultural values that tend to dictate the way we behave. We are rich in diversity here at Georgetown, and while we celebrate diversity, we understand the differences in values and cultural norms that can also make Georgetown a very confusing place. When these differences are extreme or shocking, it can make the adjustment period difficult and sometimes lead to culture shock. The cultural adjustment process generally progresses in 3 phases. The honeymoon phase is what you'll probably experience when you first arrive. You'll be excited, you'll be having fun, and most importantly, you won't have any papers to write. But there comes a time when the honeymoon phase starts to wane. You might become overwhelmed by the amount of reading you have to do. You're tired of our public transportation system or how loud Americans can be. This is called the hostility phase. It's understandable and okay to be in this phase because we don't expect you to like everything about our country or abandon your culture and adopt to ours. What we do expect, however, is that you will eventually adapt by learning to meld both the old and the new. In order to do that, you will have to use your sense of humor, be patient, and most of all, be willing to understand the things that frustrate you. When you can do all of these things successfully, you will soon enter the at-home phase. What are some of the cultural values and norms that inform the way Americans act? You should never feel pressured to conform to these values, but rather should simply strive to understand them. Adjusting to a new culture is a process. You decide how to weave together the best of each culture to find a life and value system that makes you comfortable. The first value we'll look at is informality. American culture is often portrayed as being very informal compared to other cultures, and in many ways we are. However, we are more formal than you may think. As students, other students and staff will call you by your first name and treat you in a very familiar or casual way, even if they don't know you very well. This can be confusing if you come from a country where you'd only treat somebody like this if you were a close friend. Likewise, in the classroom, while professors here may be very casual in their relationship with students, engaging in open dialogue and discussion, you should still respect them as a figure of authority and address them by their titles unless they say otherwise. Finally, while you see that other students are almost shockingly casual in the way they present themselves, for example, wearing sweatpants to class, we still maintain formality in the places you would usually expect it, like meetings, interviews, and presentations. Many international students notice that Americans seem to be very inflexible when it comes to our rules and policies. It is important to understand that we're not trying to make your life more difficult, but rather we simply place an enormous value on fairness and the concept that rules must be enforced so that we will rarely make exceptions or bend them. The value of fairness and egalitarianism extends into the classroom in a variety of ways. Students are considered to be equal contributors to the classroom, and as such, not inherently inferior to professors. You are evaluated on your intellectual merits and not on your age or status. As such, you are expected to thoughtfully and continually